serious is it?
I don't know. It's pretty serious.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the movie legacies most tarnished by scandal or controversy.
The misery that you read about is real. The tragedy is real.
Number 20, The Birth of a Nation. A technical marvel that ushered in many of the filmmaking techniques used today, this movie's impact on the future of the medium cannot be understated. And yet, there's more than a few reasons why they don't teach The Birth of a Nation in film class. The big one is it's often considered one of the most racist movies ever made. Every single African-American character is portrayed as a mindless, damaging caricature, which is made all the worse since most of the performances are by white actors in blackface. Under a modern social lens, the truly abhorrent depiction of race relations overshadows any of the film's cinematic merit. Number 19, It Ends With Us. Forget the on-screen fireworks, the juiciest drama here happened behind the scenes. Director and star Justin Baldoni had a seriously rocky relationship with leading woman Blake Lively, and by the time the film released, it had soured into a full-on publicity war zone.
It actually gets worse, yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Not
no,
possible.
it does.
On one hand, you had fans calling out Lively for her cavalier treatment of the film's sensitive themes. On the other, there was Baldoni, who fielded allegations of on-set harassment and intimidation. This wasn't just mudslinging, though. Things got so bad, lawyers had to get involved, burying the film's box office success underneath a mountain of legal gossip.
I thought we were friends.
We are friends.
Something tells us when people think of this movie, it won't be because of the storytelling. Number 18, Better Off Dead. Ricky Smith is an awkward deconstruction of the guy next door trope. He's rightfully called out for his very uncomfortable obsession with MoNique, and spends most of Better Off Dead as the butt of a joke.
MoNique, this is Ricky. Ricky, this is MoNique, the French foreign exchange student who'll be staying with us.
It's all fine and dandy until you realize Ricky is played by Dan Schneider. Yeah, Nickelodeon's Dan Schneider. For those who don't know, he was the creator behind several iconic kids shows like iCarly, Victorious, and Zoe 101, but his work has since been heavily scrutinized for putting young, female performers into highly inappropriate situations. Given that Ricky Smith is the exact kind of creep Schneider's accused of being, Better Off Dead is nigh unwatchable anymore.
MoNique! MoNique! I had no idea where you'd gotten off to. You shouldn't make me worry. Lane. Ricky. I see you've made MoNique's acquaintance.
Number 17, The Blind Side. A captivating true story of community, passion, and football, 2009's The Blind Side is an Oscar-winning crowd pleaser for all ages.
Tell me everything I need to know about you. Who takes care of you? A mother? Do you have a mother? A grandmother, maybe? Tell you what, Big Mike, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way.
Or at least, it was until 2023. The film version of events see down on his luck Michael Orr, adopted by the Tui family, who helped propel him into a mainstream football star. 14 years later, Orr revealed the Tuis hadn't adopted him at all, but rather invoked a conservatorship, which allowed them to profit off his likeness.
He entered a conservatorship with the Tuis, which is wildly different than an adoption.
Kind of makes you question their motives, doesn't it? Even without touching on the white savior part of it all, the allegations alone are enough to change how you see The Blind Side forever. Number 16, A Beautiful Mind. All it takes is a little digging to see that this biography isn't really based on a true story at all.
The truth is that I don't like people much. And they don't much like me.
But why? With all your obvious wit and charm.
While John Nash was a gifted mathematician and a recipient of the Nobel Prize in Economics, that's about as accurate as A Beautiful Mind gets. It conveniently leaves out Nash's complicated history with women, his alleged anti-Semitism, and how serious his schizophrenic behavior really was. A Beautiful Mind is definitely a well-made film, but it tries so hard to make you root for its main character, it becomes glorified fan fiction.
Well, conviction, it turns out, is a luxury of those on the sidelines, Mr. Nash.
I'll try and keep that in mind.
The truth doesn't always make for a good story, but trying to conceal it is a surefire way to destroy your movie's reputation. Number 15. Last Tango in Paris. In this erotic drama, a young Marlon Brando begins a risque relationship with a young Parisian girl.
So you're here. Why didn't you answer?
Go get the butter.
I have to hurry. I have a cab downstairs waiting.
Go get the butter.
When she rejects him, he takes what he wants with force. It's a harrowing scene in what is already one of the most explicit films ever made. But to make matters worse, actress Maria Schneider had no idea just how far it would go when she showed up to set that day. In order to elicit a more natural reaction, both Brando and the movie's director withheld the specifics of Schneider's role.
Let's talk about us.
Okay. But this place is so pitiful.
It's a choice that left the 19-year-old utterly traumatized. Nowadays, the most famous scene in Last Tango in Paris is also the one we recommend fast-forwarding through. Number 14. The Adventures of Milo and Otis. How controversial could a children's film about cats and dogs get?
You're in the pipe, Milo. Try again. How does he do that? Milo wondered.
Well, the answer is pretty darn controversial, especially when the production is accused of numerous counts of animal neglect. Since Milo and Otis were both played by real animals, many international humane societies launched investigations into whether the pets were properly cared for during the long shoot. No hard evidence was found either way. However, rumors of its eerily realistic stunt work has followed the adventures of Milo and Otis ever since.
A dream about Otis and how they used to play together when they were young. Oh, would it ever be like this again? Would he ever see Otis again?
We get why. These two furballs are so adorable, the mere thought of them being harmed in the making of this movie is completely unforgivable. Number 13. Heathers. These days, a high school drama with murder, sexual harassment, and bomb threats would be yanked out of theaters faster than you could say, "Sorry, Heather."
Hello, Jason Dean.
Greetings and salutations. You a Heather?
No, I'm a Veronica. Sawyer.
But in the 80s, it was just good popcorn entertainment. Heathers was a teen thriller so divorced from reality, it could cut right to its razor-sharp social commentary. However, as the years go by, Veronica and JD's ultra-violent love story becomes closer and closer to everyday high school life. In an age where schools are common targets for acts of terror, Heathers strikes a much darker chord.
What are you talking about? You hated her, she hated you.
If you want proof, just look at the ill-fated TV adaptation, which had to be pushed back again and again due to rising gun violence. Number 12. Poltergeist and Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. While some might find the movie too scary to sit through, in reality, Poltergeist is tough to revisit for reasons outside its narrative. Her name is Heather O'Rourke. The acclaimed child actor was the heart of the movie as Carol Ann, a young girl who's trying desperately to evade a ghostly trip to the other world. But the scary movie became an eerie prophecy of sorts when O'Rourke passed away in 1988 at the age of 12. Given the real-life circumstances, seeing her character nearly die in Poltergeist 2 is extremely hard to stomach. In a way, it's a testament to O'Rourke's work. She's simply too convincing. Number 11. Kramer vs. Kramer. No judge or jury needed here. Dustin Hoffman is 100% in the wrong.
Just tell me what I did, that's all. Just tell me what I did that's so terrible.
His commitment to method acting is commendable, but it crosses a lot of lines when he can't separate his castmates from their characters, such as in Kramer vs. Kramer. In the name of invoking a better performance from her, Hoffman repeatedly harassed co-star Meryl Streep. It ranged from insults, to slaps, to even throwing a real glass at a wall without her knowledge.
Don't talk to me that way.
I've anticipated
Okay, look,
this
I don't
whole
want to
thing.
get into this. Look, you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do, and I'm going to have to do what
I'm very sorry about this.
Okay, just do what you have to do.
You can literally see the tension between them on screen. Knowing the extent of Hoffman's behavior reframes these top-tier performances into a case study of an extremely toxic work environment. Number 10. American Beauty. In 1999, Kevin Spacey found Oscar Gold for playing Lester Burnham, a man who pursues a scandalous relationship with his daughter's best friend.
You've been working out, haven't you? I can tell. I was hoping you'd give me a bath. I'm very, very dirty.
For years, it was the Kevin Spacey role. Then, in 2017, the hashtag #MeToo movement revealed that Spacey and Burnham had more in common than previously thought. Multiple men stepped forward accusing Spacey of unwanted sexual advances over the years. Immediately, American Beauty's Oscar gold dimmed, with many finding the parallels too close for comfort.
Don't interrupt me.
Even though Spacey has since been acquitted of liability, the damage to his image means there's no way to watch American Beauty without thinking of the scandal. Number 9. The Shining. The scariest part of this classic horror flick is what happened to Shelley Duvall.
What are you doing down here?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Okay. Let's talk.
As Jack Nicholson's character falls deeper into madness, director Stanley Kubrick knew Duvall had to serve as the audience surrogate, aka, her job was to freak out in the final act. Kubrick, however, was unsatisfied with her work, and he made sure she knew it. Duvall was verbally berated, kept for long hours, and allegedly made to do takes over 100 times. Before the film was finished, clumps of Duvall's own hair were falling out from the stress. We can't argue with the results. The Shining is a true genre-defining staple, but it came at way too high a cost. Number 8. The Crow. If you watch The Crow with no prior knowledge, you'd probably be enthralled by its unapologetic style and edginess.
But sometimes, something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the Crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right.
Unfortunately, the film takes on a whole new meaning when you learn leading man Brandon Lee died on set. With only 3 days of shooting left, negligent handling of a prop gun put the entirety of The Crow into question. Eventually, producers decided to go forward with the theatrical release, but considering The Crow features Lee's character rising from the dead to exact vengeance on those who wronged him, the actor's death isn't exactly easy to forget.
I'm not gonna kill you. Your job will be to tell the rest of them that death is coming for them. Tonight.
All things considered, though, it's a feat The Crow ever saw the light of day in the first place. Number 7. The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy's trip to Oz was made with a Herculean effort from the cast, many of whom have actual scars to prove it.
You stay out of this, Glinda, or I'll fix you as well.
Oh, rubbish. You have no power here. Be gone before somebody drops the house on you too.
For example, the original actor for the Tin Man had a severe reaction to the aluminum makeup and was hastily replaced. Then, there's Margaret Hamilton, who suffered third-degree burns during a botched stunt. Oh, and there's also the original director, who was fired partway through production for creative reasons. Most of all, we can't forget Judy Garland, who endured non-stop ridicule and harassment during shooting.
Please, sir, I've got to see the wizard. The Good Witch of the North sent me.
Suffice it to say, if you follow the Yellow Brick Road, you're going to stumble on a lot of classic Hollywood scandals. Number 6. In Cold Blood. Actor Robert Blake stepped into the shoes of murderer Perry Smith back in 1967.
You never meant it about going to Mexico, did you? Did you?
Sure, baby. Sure we're going.
Later in 2001, Blake experienced another murder trial, only this time, he wasn't acting. When the body of Blake's second wife turned up in his vehicle, he became the prime suspect in the news story of the year. Even though Blake was acquitted of murder charges, the court of public opinion was slow to forgive and forget. It's especially hard given his performance in Cold Blood, where Blake convincingly plays someone charged with the very same crime.
Please, try to control yourself.
No matter your opinion, it's easy to see why many opt out of seeing this movie. Number 5. Contagion. Years before the COVID-19 pandemic forced the world into quarantine, a sci-fi thriller hit screens with an uncomfortably similar premise.
You wait a few days. This will be tweeted and
We don't want to
YouTube
be the paper that
all
cries
over the
wolf.
planet.
Based on the name, it's obvious what Contagion is about, but it went viral in 2020 for more than its plot. No, the movie also features several small details about pandemic life that feel incredibly apropos. The masking, the social distancing, the bevy of conspiracies and social unrest. Contagion basically predicted exactly how the world would respond to a mass outbreak.
You really think this Dr. Hextall CDC person is Jesus in a lab coat? The government rushed the trials. The lawyers indemnified the drug companies.
It's quite a storytelling feat, all things considered, although that's also why many think it hits too close to home. Number 4, Powder. A solid but unspectacular installment in Disney's live-action catalog, the only time anyone mentions Powder anymore is to bring up the movie's director, Victor Salva.
I'm also the writer-director of Powder and Peaceful Warrior and Rites of Passage. I love drama, and I do drama very well too.
In 1988, he was convicted of gross acts towards the underage star of his film, Clown House. To reiterate, Powder is a Disney movie. A convicted felon not only got another directing gig, but this time for one of the most family-friendly companies on Earth.
You're not here to ask me questions. You're here to find out how I cheated. It's the only way you can make sense of it. It's what you need to believe.
Let that sink in. Despite some concerted protests, this wasn't the end of Salva's career either. He'd go on to helm the cult hit Jeepers Creepers 2. Some of those scenes will definitely make you shudder, and not just because of the creeper. Number 3, The Fearless Vampire Killers. Spoiler alert, Sharon Tate dies in the movie.
Dearly beloved brethren, come closer. This isn't all. This isn't all.
Roman Polanski tries to save her character, but she falls victim to the vampires, and the credits roll. That wasn't the end of their story though. The performers fell in love and got married, only for Tate to meet the same fate as her character 2 years later. You might know it better by the name The Manson Murders. It's one of the most notorious acts of violence in American history, so seeing Polanski and Tate unknowingly act out their future makes Fearless Vampire Killers an incredibly disturbing watch.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
Not at all, not at all.
Vampires or not, this movie felt way too real. Number 2, Manhattan. In 1979, Woody Allen dated a young girl while also exploring feelings for 2 other women in his life.
Not a good thing. You should think of me sort of as a detour on the highway of life.
Oh, sorry, that's not Allen. That's the plot of Manhattan, a movie he coincidentally wrote, directed, and starred in. If some of those details seem familiar, it's because Allen himself has faced serious accusations of uncouth behavior towards his daughter, Dylan Farrow. While nothing's ever been proven, the substantial media attention has stained much of Allen's cinematic legacy.
Jesus, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm surprised.
Particularly the movie where he literally dates a teenager. For all its positive buzz, Manhattan might just be too far gone to ever recover in the eyes of the public.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, every Harvey Weinstein film. If your favorite movie came out in the 90s or early 2000s, there's a good chance it's forever ruined thanks to the actions of one man.
Stage love will never be true love, while the law of the land has our heroines being played by pipsqueak boys in petticoats.
Bonus points if it has a female lead. Harvey Weinstein's stink infected Hollywood for generations, to the point it's not fair to single out one film. He harassed so many women that his grubby legacy is over comedies, horrors, dramas, and everything in between. It's a real shame that such a large corner of the industry is forever tainted by such a despicable man.
I was sitting there eating my muffin and drinking my coffee, replaying the incident in my head when I had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity.
Then again, the real question is how his behavior went unchecked for so long. Which of these movies would you pay to watch again with fresh eyes? Let us know in the comments below.
He was already dead. He died a year ago, the moment he touched her. They're all dead. They just don't know it yet.